Hi, my name is Nengi Manuel, best known as the Silent Poet. So I'm performing the poem titled The Liturgical Prayer. Enjoy. So this is not a political agenda. It has nothing to do with gender equality or inequality. This is not an attempt to reiterate that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. This is not an attempt to table out where a man stands or where a woman stands now. This poem is a tired liturgical prayer falling from the tired lips of a 7-year-old boy, this poet, praying tirelessly that upon his mother's return, she would see the tired scars in between his thighs. And this time, she will not beat him up for being rough or being reckless. Rather, she will see the tired, teary map lines around his teary eyes pointing at the 19-year-old maid at the corner who tirelessly molested him in her absence. This poem is a public service announcement, an SOS call, a plea for you to take off the glasses of society and look closely at the skin of the man sitting next to you. For the body of a man is a braille text. You can read his emotions by simply touching him. This poem is a prayer from a boy who has learned how to give up on things called hope. Hope is a word he cannot pronounce, too heavy for his tired mouth. Do you know that the average lifespan of a man is 43.7 years, while that of a woman is 80.4 years, or is no one checking the statistics? For this is a man's anatomy. The body of a man is a hurricane, seeking freedom into vulnerability, but his eyes are too damned, so he keeps this storm within. The body of a man is a city under siege. His only refuge is the sound of his muffled voice behind his throat telling him, "Men, do not cry for help." The body of a man is a treasure he cannot afford to keep, so he liquidates it, convert it to cash for friends and family so they can use. A man is a weight lifter, so he has learned to put his hands to work so he can foot his bills. This poem is about my father. October 20, 2020, when the news of the shooting at the Lekki toll gate came knocking on our door through his radio, he welcomed the news as though he had lived the experience. He said that boys like him were taught to run, live, breathe, and survive through pain, sorrow, and death, so it's nothing new to him. So I have a question. Where does a man go to when he wants to grieve? I have another question. Is a man now allowed to feel? Is a man allowed to feel? No. First rule of masculinity: a man is not allowed to feel. A man is not allowed to feel unless he's filling up an emotional need or filling up the space in the coffin. A man is not allowed to feel unless he's filling up an emotional need or filling up the space in the coffin. So perhaps doing this poem has made me less of a man. Doing this poem has made me a woman. I do not care what gender I stand in right now. I am not being gender biased. But whatever which way you look at me through the lenses of your eyes, I hope you can see that one day 2/3 of all the men on the earth will go to hell or heaven. It depends on who is judging when they can feel or not, or when their emotions become something that they can dispense at will. So until then, I hope I become the kind of father that can teach his son that his tongue is not the pill that he must swallow. I hope I can become the kind of father that will teach his son that the body of a woman is a farm, that he can plant seeds of words, that he can express himself without fear. So up until then, if this poem has made me less of a man, I guess it's okay. Peace.